Hello, everybody. Okay, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. And okay, so we're gonna be starting right about now. Of course, it's been a wonderful and a great trading day. Of course, the market actually started up on a very good note, unlike yesterday that it was actually a very slow day till afternoon. But today has actually been a very volatile day up until this time. And of course, you already know the reason. Now, every single day that you don't really have technical, fundamental news affecting the market, you always find out sometimes the market might just be a little bit slow. And of course, trading technically, all right. So if you use your technical analysis, you can always make some really good amount of money. But most times, fundamental actually drives the market more than the technical does. All right. The fundamental drives the market more than the technical does. Of course, you already aware of that. The fundamental here tells you about okay some of the news that are coming out, how when they are coming out and how they would be coming out. Okay, so that actually brings about some good volatilities in the market, which is a very good one. All right. But of course, when you check the technical aspect of it and you discover that, oh, okay, this particular thing is going to be trading on technical pattern for that day. It's just for you to check a few things that are happening in the market and use that as a way of getting your trade really up and running in the markets, right? All right, so for today, we are going to be looking at the market. First of all, we're going to be checking if there are fundamentals that are affecting the market, and from there, we'll now dive into the technical aspect of it. All right, and also check what we're going to be expecting for the remaining part of the day. All right, so first of all, let's go to Forex Factory to see the news that we're having. Of course, you know that we always have to check the Forex Factory. That is the most important part of this meeting. We always have to check the Forex Factory to know. Today, actually, unlike yesterday, like I said earlier on, we have a couple of news coming out. We have a couple of news coming out, and one of those, okay, let's just go there. All right, here we go. And today is Tuesday, August 29th. All right, and we have already AUD news that came out around 8:40 a.m. That news was actually a very volatile news. You can check it out on your AUD, USD, and also your AUD card and a couple of other AUD instruments. All right, so you will see that there was a massive volatility within that time of the day, and AUD actually lost massive strength after that particular news. All right, so you can check it out or yourself and check. All right, so since morning, AUD has actually been selling, and the reason for that is because that particular news came out dovish. All right, it is a dovish kind of news. All right, so that particular speech was a dovish speech. All right, and another news that also came out that just came out now is a US news. It just came out right now, and if you are actually if you trade on US, you will discover that dollar is actually gaining what is it called more strength this afternoon due to this particular news that just came out. All right, dollar is actually gaining strength due to this particular news that just came out. You might not really be seeing the effect, but when you check it out on 5 minutes time frame, that is when you'll be noticing the effect. It just came out a few minutes ago, just about 4 minutes ago. All right, so that is actually the news for now, and that particular news is actually making other indices sell on smaller time frame. All right, it is making US 100 and US 30 to sell on a smaller time frame. That is this particular news, right? Look at, even though this particular news came out positive, of course, it came out positive for dollar and is actually pushing dollar up. All right, but the effect of this news is not a very big one. The effect is not a very big one. Don't forget, in as much as it's a high impact news and it came out positive for dollar, you're going to be seeing a sell on all the indices. All right, but then of course, dollar index is going to be buying because of that. Okay, so that is how fundamentals work. If you check it out, you discover that, oh, this particular news if it comes out negative, then it's going to be negative news for dollar. If it comes out positive, it's going to be positive news for dollar. So as it comes out negative right now, positive right now, you're going to be expecting a sell on, a buy on dollar, and you're going to be expecting a sell on other indices like the US 30, the US 100, the US 2000 are going to be selling. But this particular news does not really have much effect on gold. It might not really have much effect on gold. Yes, I know that you'll be expecting dollar to be, of course, direct opposite of gold, but this particular news does not really have much effect on gold. All right. And another thing I must say, this one also, look at the one I'm talking about. This is composite 20 HPI yearly data. All right. It is a high impact news, but the volatility is not that much. The volatility of this news is not that much. All right. The volatility of this particular news is not that much. Now let's go to the next one. By 3 p.m., we're going to be having consumer confidence. All right. Consumer confidence is going to be coming out by 3 o'clock this afternoon. But this particular news is going to be volatile. And not just the consumer confidence. Another one is a JOLT job opening. All right. Or if you know what JOLT job opening is, you would understand that this particular instrument is looking out for not just about the jobs that were created, but of course, the number of persons that were also able to take advantage of some of those jobs. All right. So this particular one is JOLT job opening, and it's going to be volatile. And also consumer confidence, it's also going to be volatile. All right. So that actually tells us that you're going to be seeing some volatilities in the market from that time. And remember, I said that in as much as this particular news came out positive, it is not a volatile news. It is not a volatile news. All right. Now, always find out what in particular news is all about before you trade on it. Now, for example, now, if you have checked this particular news, you probably will be thinking, oh, this one came out negative or positive. And because of that, you just jump into a trade. Yeah, on dollar index. But then if you don't really know that this news does not have much effect in the market, you might end up making a very big mistake. Yeah, it came out positive, but the effect is not much in the market. It doesn't always have much volatility in the market. So now let's go to our chart and then check if this was actually volatile as it was assumed, or is it just a regular kind of news that came out also. So let's take a look at our charts right now. Just a second, let me open my chart. Okay, so here we go. This is my chart. This is dollar index that I've got right here. All right, so this is the dollar index and on 5 minutes time frame. But first of all, let's take a look at it on 1 hour time frame and see what we're expecting. Now, of course, I know that this instrument has been buying, but the buy that you've been experiencing since is not as a result of this news that came out. Remember, this is just about 9 minutes past 2 p.m. and this is actually the current candle that reflected the news. This is okay. This is the candle that reflected the news, and it's just here struggling. I know it's still going to push up. No doubt, dollar index will still push up. Yes, I know. But as a result of the news, it didn't really have much effect. So it's going to be something that the effect is going to come at a later time. So what I'm just going to do is that for dollar index, I'm just going to be going in for a buy. But that buy, I'm going to be very much patient. All right. I know quite a number of you are not, people are not let me not say everybody, all right? Some few persons are not a very patient trader. Sometimes when you enter a trade, try to be patient. Don't just rush out. Check out some different time frames. That is why you have your time frames there. Your time frame is always there to help you to know what is happening in other or what is it called in other regions, or probably with other time frames to know what exactly to do. So for dollar index, we're going in for a buy on dollar index. We're going in for a buy. That is because of as a result of the news that came out. It is not that volatile, but still it's going to favor the dollar. So we're going to be going in for a buy on dollar index. Our take profit is going to be at price 104.333. 104.333. So that is that for dollar index this afternoon. So we're going to be going in for a buy, basically because of the news that just came out, and it's going to be a very slow buy. So don't be in a haste. Don't try to say, okay, I've entered the trades. And by the way, I noticed that some persons think that the time frames means that the number of minutes or hours it will take for your trade to close. Please, that is not the meaning for that is not what time frame means. All right, time frame does not show the number of hours or minutes that it will take any trade that you open to close. No, time frame is used for analysis. Time frame is just showing you the number of minutes or hours it takes each candle to form. Time frame is telling you the number of minutes or hours it takes each candle to form. All right. So if you're on 5 minutes time frame, it means that each candle forms after 5 minutes. Each candle forms every 5 minutes, I meant to say. All right. Each candle forms every 5 minutes. All right. And if you're on 1 hour time frame, it means that each candle forms every 1 hour. I hope you got that. So it means that the bigger they are, the smaller the number of candles that will be formed. And the lower the time frame, the bigger the number of the number of candles that will be formed. I hope you understand. So time frame helps you to know the number of candles that form at every particular point in time. And of course, the bigger time frame gives you better analysis, but then smaller time frames actually gives you exactly what is happening, and of course makes you more money. So with that in mind, I'll be going in for a sell on Euro USD. All right. With that in mind, knowing that if a particular fundamental came out right now and it affected dollar positively, I'm going to be going in for a sell on Euro USD. I'll be going in for a sell on Euro USD, and it's, of course, it's actually going to be a little bit of a long one also, especially when you're using 5 minutes time frame. All right, using 5 minutes time frame, I'll be going in for a longer trade. So my take profit for this particular instrument, my take profit for Euro USD. Remember, I said Euro USD is a sell for me. For this afternoon, it's going to be a sell, and my take profit is at price 1.07766. 1.07766. That is my take profit for Euro USD this afternoon. Right, I told you that the reason I'm going in for the sell is as a result of the news that came out for dollar, and it's affected it positively. It gave it a positive effect. All right, and I told you that the news is not very volatile, but of course it is actually going to be giving some good strength to the market. All right, in a longer of course at a longer time, it's going to be giving it some good strength. All right, so that being said, let's take a look at the next one. Euro USD is a sell. Take profit at price 1.07766. 1.07766. That is a take profit for Euro USD. And guess what, guys? Guess what? USD JPY has gotten to 147. USD JPY has gotten to 147. Yeah, sell from that point. Yes, USD JPY has gotten to 147. Remember when I was telling you that it's going to get to 150? 150. Yes, we're currently on 147. We're currently on 147. I know that not a lot of you actually entered the trades. I told you that you can always take up right from when it got back to 135. Okay, it didn't get to 135, but it actually got to 137. All right, I told you that from that 137, it's going to get back to 144 and pass the 144, and it's most likely going to get to 150. And currently, it is on 147. It has gotten to 147. All right, so what are you expecting in the market with this particular instrument? Do you think now finally it's going to get to 150? Well, your guess is as good as mine. It's most likely going to get to 150. All right, remember when we started talking about it at this point? All right, and I told you that find a comfortable position and buy. One of the best things you can do for yourself is that you're on a buy on USD JPY, because it always comes to that particular effect. All right, it always favors the market. I know that the market has actually gotten to a very high point, but I feel this instrument is going to get to 147.400 this afternoon. Like I said, I know it has gotten to a very high point already. All right, and at this point, it's going to have a little bit of a retracement before any further buy. But today, it is still going to be making a higher high before any further sell. All right, maybe later in the evening, we might have a sell, or tomorrow we might have a sell just to cater for the retracement. All right, but for this afternoon, we're going to be seeing more of a buy on USD JPY. And even if you find yourself on a negative on USD JPY, don't panic, especially on a buy. Don't panic so much. Why? Because it always comes back to the favor of the buy. It always comes back to the favor of the buy. So for now, for USD JPY, I am going in for a buy, and my take profit is at price 147.439. I really hope someone had actually entered this buy all along. All right, if you had entered this buy all along, you would have made some really good amount of money too. Okay, since there is a retracement around it, so let's just reduce the take profit point maybe to somewhere around here. Checking out, this should give us how much? Okay, at least 17 pips is not a bad one. So for USD JPY, I'll be going in for a buy at the current market price, and we're targeting about 15 pips. So at that point should be at price 147.341. 147.341. All right, 147.341. That is where my take profit is going to be. All right, 147.341. So we're going in for a buy. You can go ahead. You can buy at the current market price. Someone was asking earlier on, is it at the current market price? Yes, at the current market price. Look at Euro USD is almost at the take profit. USD JPY also is pushing with force. All right, it is also pushing with force. All right, so that being said, let's take a look at GBP USD. GBP USD, of course, this is actually one of my favorite instruments also, but I always trade this particular instrument with caution, because one thing about this instrument is that it actually respects support and resistance a lot. It respects support and resistance, just like US 100. All right, just like US 100. All right, it actually respects lots of support and resistance. So what we're going to be doing in this particular instrument is that we're going to be setting up a pending trade. We're going to be setting up a pending trade. All right, we're going to be setting up a pending trade instead of asking about gold and other instrument. Why not just take advantage of the one we're giving out? And we might not actually be looking out for gold today. All right. So let's go ahead now. For this particular instrument, I'll be going in for a pending trade. Now the reason is because from where it is, there is a support. And you know that I actually respect support and resistance a lot. All right. So with that in mind, we're going to be taking about 10 pips from each of them. We're going to be looking at 10 pips from each of them. All right. So that being said, for GBP USD, this instrument is GBP USD. Please don't forget, it is GBP USD. So I'm going to be taking in my buy entry. All right, my buy entry, I might not be able to type it, so you probably would need to just write it down as fast as you can. All right. My entry is going to be at price 1.25813. 1.25813. All right. 1.25813, and my take profit is going to be at price 1.25944. Let me take it again. For the buy entry, we'll be taking up a trade at price 1.25813, and my take profit will be at price 1.25944. All right. So for the sell, my entry is going to be at price 1.25566. 1.25566. All right, 1.25566. And my take profit would be at price 1.25462. 1.25462. So that is my entry position and my take profit for GBP USD. Like I said, I'm going to be looking out for a breakout. Why? Is because this particular instrument is already on a support, is a support region. So I'm looking out for a breakout on this particular instrument. All right. All right. So that being said, we're going to be checking out USD CAD. I hope you've been able to get this particular one. All right. So we're looking out for the breakout on it. All right. Someone actually sent some messages. I'm going to take our time to reply to some of these messages, but that is going to be later on once I'm done with this particular one. So for GBP USD, like I said, we're going to be using out a breakout point because of this particular verified support that is there, and that is the entry position. And for USJPY, of course, you know that it was is an instant buy that we took, and Euro USD, it's a sell that we're taking. So let's go ahead and look at USD CAD. Now, USD CAD over the period has actually been on an uptrend, but it is currently being supported by resisted by a verified resistance right there. There is a verified resistance right at the price where it is. So in this case also, going in for a breakout is also a best alternative. Going in for a breakout is also the best alternative. All right, so it said, please, if you set a pending order and it hasn't triggered before the news by 3, does it affect the trade? Well, it doesn't affect it. Most likely, if it doesn't trigger before the news, then the news most likely is going to trigger it. All right, it's either you close it out and then just wait for the news, or you allow it to run with the news. Most likely, it's going to be triggered by the news, and you most likely also will be making profit from it. All right, so that being said, so I'm going to be going in for a sell order on USD CAD just if price can comfortably close where it is. All right. Now, USD CAD is currently pushing down a little bit from where it is already. All right. But I will not be jumping into the sell until the price gets to price 1.36238. That is actually where I'm going to be considering my sell. But if price can comfortably get there, then I'll be going in for a sell. Why? The reason is because look at it. This instrument actually got to a verified resistance and is bouncing off from this verified resistance on 1 minute time frame. But if you check it out on 1 hour time frame, you will discover that it just made a double top. All right, this instrument just made a double top on 1 hour time frame. So the probability of it actually selling more is higher. All right, the probability of it selling more is higher. Looking at this alone, you will discover that because of this double top, the probability of it selling more is very much higher. So with that in mind, we'll be going in for a sell on this instrument. So we're going to be going in for a sell on this instrument. But let your sell be at price 1.36238. That is should be the entry position. 1.36265. All right, so no. I called the wrong one. I was calling the current price. 1.36238. That is the entry position for USD CAD. The entry position for USD CAD is 1.36238, and the take profit is 1.36144. Like I said, don't enter instantly. Don't enter at the current market price. Just enter at this level that I just called. Reason is because the currently is on a support and it was also rejected by a resistance. So don't be in a haste to jump into a buy or a sell, but rather than enter a sell at price 1.36238 and the take profit is 1.36144. Well, I'm not going to be giving you a buy entry. All right, I will only be giving you a sell entry. So it's only the sell entry I'm going to be considering. All right, I will only be considering the sell entry. Now, and of course, I also told you that it's actually AUD I was talking about. In the morning, there was a negative trade that came out for AUD, and you could see the sell that actually happened. And this afternoon, a news came out for positive in favor of dollar. So it means that AUD USD is going to still be a sell. All right. So for AUD USD this afternoon, it's going to be a sell. Then for AUD CAD traders, I'm also going to be selling AUD CAD. Now those are just on a free, let me use the word freebies. All right, so for AUD CAD, I'm going to be selling this afternoon, and also AUD USD, I'm going to be selling this afternoon. Now, the reason is because of basically some of the news that came out. So for AUD USD is a sell, and then for AUD CAD too, I'm going to be selling it. All right, I'll be selling both AUD USD and AUD CAD. All right, hope you got that. I hope you got that. So I told you that USD CAD, I can only enter USD CAD if price gets to 1.36238. That's my entry position for this instrument. 36238, that's the entry position, and the take profit is 1.36144. Let me call the entry again: 1.36238 and 1.36144. All right, so that is this particular instrument. And all right, so let's take a look at other instruments, starting from US 2000. Okay, now US 2000 has actually been on before now. All these instruments have actually been on a downtrend, but as a few days ago, you started seeing a massive consolidation around this point, and price has not been able to break below this particular verified support. All right, price has been dangling in between this verified support and the verified resistance. All right, so price has actually been dangling between the verified support and the verified resistance. So that is to say, most times when it gets here, you see a push up back to the verified resistance, and then you see this particular one coming down. So it's like as if it's two opposing forces, all right, that keep on pushing price back to each other. All right, so when it gets to the buy, it takes it back to sell, and when it gets to sell, it pushes it back to buy. And currently, it has gotten to sell. Sorry, it has gotten to buy, and most likely the market is actually expected to, from here, to have a little bit of a fall before any further direction. But looking at it today, the outcome of today's view, so I'm actually expecting this particular instrument to also have, now, if it maintains this particular level, it means that you're most likely going to be seeing a further buy, right? Now, if today this particular instrument starts up with a buy by 2:30, then you're going to be expecting some massive sell-off going on, buy going forward. All right. So, but that being said, yes, I'm actually expecting a buy on this particular instrument. Yes, I'm expecting a buy. I know that it is like one of the most unlikely direction to take for today, but I'm actually going to be considering a buy on it, especially for gold. All right, especially for gold, I'm most likely going to be going in for a buy on gold, and my take profit for gold is, but instead of entering it immediately, I can just allow price to go above this particular resistance, especially for gold. So once price gets above those resistance, I am going to be going in for a buy on gold. But generally for today, I am looking out for a buy on gold, and then of course also on US 2000. All right. Now, if you check all these instruments very well, you will discover that. So just a second. Someone's message had actually been disturbing me, so I really need to. All right. I think I've done what I wanted to do. All right. Thank you. All right. So in this particular on US 2000, I am looking out for a further buy on this particular instrument. All right. Once it's able to push above this point, then I'm going in for a buy, and my buy is going to stay up until this level. All right, so it's going to be a very long one, but it's going to be profitable once it's able to get to this point. The same thing goes with gold. Once gold is able to break above this point, then I'm going in for a buy. So if you want to take up the entry, unless you wait for price to get to once it's 2:30, you probably might be able to see the exact direction the market will be going to. But if you want to enter immediately, then I would suggest you take up a buy order. All right, the buy order for all gold is going to be at price 1919.77. All right, 1919.77 up until that price level. All right, 1919.77 up until price 1921.51. That is for gold. And also for US 2000, I'll be going in for 1874.4. 1874.4, and my take profit is going to be at price 1875.9. It's a long process, but I think it's actually going to be worth it. All right, I think it's actually going to be pushing up to that direction. All right, so for US 2000, I am seeing a buy, and on gold also I'm seeing a buy on this particular instrument. Yeah, but then for even on US 30 and US 100, I'm actually going to be looking out for a further buy on it. So for US 30, well, my ADX is actually giving me more of a buy momentum. So with that, I'm actually going to be considering a buy. So for all the instruments, you can actually go in. Oh, see why I didn't want us to enter an instant buy on US 2000, but it's still going to buy. So for all instruments, US 100, it's a buy. US 30 is a buy. And gold also, Don't buy gold immediately, but rather than set start at 1919.77. All right, 1919.77. Please don't sell US 2000. Don't sell US 2000. I would actually prefer, as it's coming down, you can just follow up with the buy like we normally do. All right, as it's pushing down at this point, you can just go in with a buy on US 2000. Instead of going in for a sell, I would prefer you going in for a buy on that as it's going down. But if you want to be on the safe side, don't. Just hold on for price to get to that price level, then follow it all the way back up. All right, follow it all the way back up. But I would not advise anybody to go in for a sell on this until if it comfortably breaks above below this point, then you can actually do that. But for US 2000, hold on for the reversal. But for US 100, yes, I'll be going in for, okay, US 100, I'll be going in for a buy still. US 30, I will also be going in for a buy. Gold, I'll be going in for pending order. So my pending trade is going to be at price 1919.77. That is for gold. And my take profits is going to be at price 1921.51. 1921.51. That is where my take profit is going to be. All right. So for gold, hold on for when it goes above that point, you can take advantage of it. For US 30, it's a buy. For US 100, it's going to be a buy. And for US 2000, I would not advise you to enter any sell position. All right. The only way you can, okay, because I think for the maximum point this particular instrument is going to go is here. But if you want to enter any trade, then once it goes below this point, fine, enter the sell, and you'll be able to make your profit. So your sell entry position for US 2000 should be at price 1861.2. Once it's able to go above 1861.2, then you are in for a big ride for a sell. Do you understand that? If it goes below 1861.2, then you are in for a big ride for a sell. So for US 2000, you can take up a sell entry at price 1861.2, and your take profit should be all the way down to this level. All right. Imagine this is actually a 1 hour time frame and it's giving me this long. We're taking out our take profit this long. It means that if it is able to break below this point, then we're going in for a sell, a big time sell. So for US 2000, sell position is at 1861.2. 1861.2. That should be your sell entry. And then your take profit for US 2000 should be at 1851.7. 1851.7. All right. So that should be what you'll be targeting at. So once it's able to break here, I'm going to be entering a sell with a bigger lot size. All right. But that is if it's able to break below this point. So I'm not going to be entering a sell until it gets to this price level. All right, until it gets to this price level. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. So for gold, gold sell entry has not been triggered yet. So hold on for it to trigger the buy level. But if it doesn't, then don't enter the trade and then hold on for the fundamental, because it will be easier. Because if you get trapped in the trade before the fundamental, well, you don't really know where the fundamental is going to head to. All right, I said for US 2000, the sell is at 1861.2. 1861.2. Take profit is 1851.7. You can even set it up just for the sake of the fundamental that will be coming out. All right, you can set this same price up for US 2000 just for the sake of the price of the fundamental still. But I don't expect it to go below here. But if it does, then it is in for a long ride. All right, so for US 100, I said US 100 is an instant buy. I said that all along. I said US 100 is an instant buy. US 30 is an instant buy. Go ahead and buy US 100 and buy US 30. But for you, gold, I said don't buy gold at the current market price, but set a pending order. All right, for US 30, it's a buy. For US 100, it's a long buy. But for US 2000, please, I'm actually going in for a buy on US 2000. All right, I already of course, you saw I've already entered my buy, but it's kept on retracing. So I said, don't enter the sell. It will not be wise to enter sell. Boy, you don't really need to worry yourself. Just follow up the trade. All right. I've given you the entry position and I told you what to do. I said, this is what I'm using right now on US 2000 is 1 hour time frame. All right. But for 5 minutes time frame, this is what 5 minutes time frame looks like. This is what it looks like. I said, don't sell below this point, because I'm actually looking out for a further buy. on US 2000. I'm looking out for a further buy on US 2000. And I said, if it gets to this point, if it gets to price 1861.2, then I'll be going in for a sell. It means that this particular trend has reversed. All right. That is what I'm going to be doing. But for this afternoon, US 2000, I'll be going in for a buy, just like US 100. Look at US 100 is flying all the way up. US 30 is also going to be doing the same thing. But for gold, I see gold going up. That's why I gave you only one entry. I gave you only buy position for gold, which is at price 1919.77. And the take profit is 1921.51. All right. Oh, Jesus is Lord. Said if gold hits 1921 or 1923. Gold entry position is 1919.77. Take profit is 1921.51. All right. Okay. You said a pending order for US 30. I said US 30 is an instant buy. US 30 is an instant buy. US 100 is an instant buy. But the US 2000 is the one I said you can set up a pending at price 1874.4, or as it's pushing up, you can just follow it up. I told you that it's either you do stacking or you just follow up the trade, or you set up a pending order. All right. Let's quickly go to agro commodities and see what we're expecting in the market today. There was no gap, and yeah, there's no. All right, so for this particular instrument, I'll be going in for a sell also. Now, because the trend is already confirmed as a downtrend, for corn and for wheat, I'll be going in for a sell. But for soybean, I would for soybean, I'll be going in for a buy. So you can go ahead and buy your soybean, but for corn and wheat, it's going to be a sell for corn and wheat. Yeah, this is one of those times that you have to pick up different directions for different instruments. So for corn and wheat is a sell, but for soybean, I'll be going in for a buy. For corn and wheat, I'll be going in for a sell, but for soybean, I'll be going in for a buy. So my buy on soybean is going to be, the TP is going to be just at that verified resistance, just there. But of course, with good lot size, you should be able to make some money. All right. So soybean is going to be a sell. Sorry, is a buy. Corn and wheat, I'm going to be going in for a sell. All right. But then these wheats, you can actually hold on a little bit. I used to tell you don't waste time, but this particular instrument, I actually feel that it's going to actually have long way to go, especially for the wheat. All right. Wheat is completely on a downtrend. All right. Look at it. Look at what it's been doing. All right. So wheat is going to be a very big flying. And I actually see it recovering this particular resistance that it has. So I'm expecting wheat to actually get to somewhere around here today. All right. Most likely we'll get to this point today. And my ADX is currently giving me a go-ahead order on this particular direction. But for corn, you don't need to stay long. For soybean, of course, you don't need to stay long. But for wheat, yeah, it's actually going to be a longer kind of sell for today. All right, so I think that's basically all we're going to be looking at for today. And thank you, everybody, for joining. And for those of you that always join early, thank you very much. And I hope some of you actually attended the meeting that we had today. A couple of meetings that we had today. The VIP sessions that we had, I told you about yesterday. Of course, it happened today, and it's actually started since 10 o'clock. And I think it should have ended by now. It was a very interesting meeting. You have a couple of things that you would have learned just by attending that. So US 30 is still actually pushing up, and US 100 is still going to be reversing towards this. All right, so US 2000, I'm already on profit on those trades that I took. Right, I'm already on profit on those trades. Right, so that's actually how one of the best ways you can trade on US 2000, and you'll be able to make some really good amount of money. Look at this is my trade on US 2000. Right, so this is the trade I have. So I'm just going to allow it to keep on running. I'm actually looking at taking my profit at this point. All right, so that's actually what I mean. You can just, as it's going down, you can just follow it up, and you'll be able to make some really good money. The question is this still going to push up? And the answer is yes, it's going to still push up. So my US 2000 is still in motion. Right, I'm not closing it for now. US 30 is also going to go up, and gold is just going to be rallying around here, but I still see it going back up. All right, CC Gold going back up. All right, so USD CAD, of course, we said that USD CAD is actually going to be a sell, and GBP USD, we said had to set up a pending order, which is still trying to trigger it. And for Euro USD, yeah, Euro USD is still going to be a sell. USD JPY, of course, we said is going to be a buy. All right. Okay. So I think that is going to bring us to the end of this meeting. But I'm just really trying to know, some of you, does it mean you don't really, most times you're just very much interested in trying to ask questions and you just miss up the most important points that we raise. I mentioned US 30 is going to be a buy, US 100 is a buy, and I said US 2000, don't enter in standby, hold on for the price to get to a certain level or maybe retrace a little bit. And I said as it's going down, you can just be following the buy. All right. And I also told you for US 2000, for US gold, don't enter instant buy also. Hold on for price to get to a certain level. And all right, so I think that is basically all for today. Now, gold is almost at the point where we said it's going to start buying from, and you can actually make some really good profit as it starts pushing up. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. It's always a pleasure to have everyone, and I hope you also made some profit today. I hope you also made some profit today. Now, let me just show you my US 2000 before I go. Let me show you my US 2000. That's actually why I always advocate for price stacking. So this is my US 2000. This is the outcome it gave me. All right, this is my US 2000. Currently on 100,000 naira, and it's just bouncing in between. So just go ahead and close, and go ahead and close, and go ahead and close. So most times it's always good to stacking is one of the best kind of form of trading. All right, stacking is just one of the best form of trading, and it's still going to push up. Actually, US 2000 will still push up. All right. Thank you and have a lovely day.